afternoon and welcome to Tea with Miss T. I'm your host, Sagan Mataveli, and we are joined by Miss Mabongi Mabaso. Welcome to the show, ma'am.
Thank you so much, and thanks for having me.
Wonderful. So you are a gospel artist, right?
Yes.
So now take us through your journey. Like, who is Mabongi Mabaso?
Okay, in a nutshell, Mabongi is a daughter, is a sister, is a musician, a music teacher, a worship leader, a lover of kids, a lover of accessories, a lover of fashion. I'm just the girl next door, literally. So in a nutshell, that's who Mabongi is.
Wow, Mabongi is a lot. Okay, Miss Mabongi, tell us about growing up. How was it growing up?
Growing up in my house was really cool actually. It was so much fun. I mean, I'm the fourth born of 5 girls, the only girls at home.
Wow.
We don't have a brother, yeah. So you can imagine
I
already
can imagine.
the drama that was in my house. But it was so cool. I mean, I grew up with my sisters and both my parents are still alive. I'm so blessed that they're still alive. We just grew up in a Christian home, that's where the whole thing began, just being raised in a Christian way until at a certain age. I also accepted Jesus into my life. But growing up in my house was so much fun. I mean, there was so much music. My mom sings, my dad sings, my grandmother sings. So there's just so much music happening in my house. So even when I was a child, this whole thing started really at home, and then it developed when I went to church. It grew even bigger when I went to school. So it was so much fun growing up with my sisters. I mean, they're my best friends. So we just had so much fun growing up together.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So your sisters, as you say, you are the fourth of 5 sisters.
Yes.
So how has it been like just growing up as sisters? Did you guys have the same experience as we had? We have like having sisters, we know that the pouring of clothes,
Oh,
you shared all this about
everything. No, like literally, we literally shared everything. I remember when I was still in high school. No, I was not yet in high school, but in higher primary, my sisters were in high school already, like the older ones, sort of getting ready to leave home for varsity and stuff like that. I remember they were going for a school trip, and I had these shorts that my sister likes. Like, dude, let me borrow your shorts. You'll get them when we come back. I mean, they were new. I was like, no. She's like, don't worry. I'll just wear them for that day when we go to the beach and whatnot. So, I mean, that's the story. Even now, we still share stuff. Well, we'll be different in sizes now, but we still share stuff. Shoes, accessories, bags. I promise you, I rate my sister's wardrobe all the time.
That's awesome. So where did you grow up? You mentioned you grew up, you are the fourth born from 5 sisters. Where did you grow up?
I was born and raised in Bushbuck Ridge, in a little town called Tulamahashi. That's where I was born and raised. I only left home after matric, so I spent a good 17 years of my life at home.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
How was it growing up here?
It was, well, for half of my earlier life, it was dusty.
I can imagine.
The development only came like when I was growing up and as a teenager and stuff like that. But it's growing now. It's actually way bigger than it was when I was young. But when I was young, it was so small that everybody knew everyone. So if you're gonna get into trouble or you're gonna do something naughty somewhere far from home, believe me, your parents will find out.
Wow.
Because somehow someone will tell them. So everybody knew everyone. That's the one thing that I liked about my community. Now things are a bit more different. It has grown. Oh my goodness, it has grown so much. I've lost touch. I don't know who's who anymore.
Wow.
But it was cool. It was a nice community. It felt, although it was a big community, but it felt like a family in that community. So as you know, Varimwana, you could say a whole town. So it was that same thing even when I was growing up. So it was really cool. I think it shaped the person that I am today. Just growing up in that smallish town. Now that it's bigger, well, I'm glad I grew up when it was still smaller. Because I had parents all over the neighborhood. If you get into trouble, a mother from next door, they'll definitely give you a hiding, stuff like that. So I'm grateful I grew up in that kind of environment where I learned, to respect my elders and all that stuff. So it's not much for school.
We would love to hear more about you. Stay tuned for Tea with Miss T. We will be right back. back. We are still sipping tea with Miss Mabongi Mabaso, gospel artist.
Yes.
How did that come about?
When I went to school, I actually studied jazz. But every time I'm asked that question, I have to like think exactly how to put it, because I always say I didn't really choose to sing gospel, but gospel music chose me.
Okay.
As much, I totally love performing jazz, and I grew fond of the genre in all my years of studying jazz, but for me, I just felt there was no other way but to record gospel music. I mean, it's God that gave me this gift, and I choose to give it back to Him by singing about Him and singing to Him. So for me, there was just no other way besides growing up in church and stuff like that. But that was just the only option for me.
So singing, has this always been something you loved or something that you grew to love?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I remember when I was still in grade 1 or 2, I started school a bit early, but when you're in grade 1 or 2, there are choirs at school, and you go for competitions and whatnot. So I remember this because I was in the junior choir, the infants choir, that's what they call it. Everyone sings in unison there. There's no soprano, there's no alto, everyone just sings one voice. And I remember I went, the first day of that practice, I went there, and when I got home after my mom, I'm never going back to that choir. Those kids can't sing.
Okay.
I was so frustrated. And I think that's when everything began. That's when I think I could see maybe I'm a little bit musical. I was so young, but then I joined the bigger choir. I was the youngest in the choir. I auditioned and I made it through to the bigger choir. So this thing was there from the beginning. This is like one of the stories that I remember about this whole music thing. So it started when I was very, very young.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
2 albums already. Tell us about the first one, Tama.
Yes, my first album, it's got 10 tracks. It was released in November of 2012. I worked with Wendy Lamoya, people know him as Afro Traction, and I worked with Tla, who was my current producer and manager. On those 10 tracks, I did a song with my uncle Bongo's. The music thing is in the family.
It's in the family.
Oh yes. I did my uncle, and his name is Bongosi. He's the coolest guy ever. He actually is the guy that kind of helped me to kind of get out of because I was so shy growing up, but he kind of helped me to get out of my cocoon. So I did a song with him, and I also featured Avis. People know Avis from Jazz Celebration way back. So we also did a song with her. It was a great experience. It was not my first time in studio, but it was my first time doing something that says Mabongi. So it was an amazing experience. I mean, it took us a few months to record the album because I was still studying full time and school was really, really hectic. So it took us all those months to record it, but I was glad that we took our time and recorded it, and everything was just, by November, we were done and ready to release. So it's an album that, Tama, as you say, it's a title track, and people really love the song. It's actually really weird. It was amazing for me. It's Tonga as well,
Right.
Doing a song in Tonga, it's not a language that is too popular, especially in South Africa.
True.
But everyone was like, oh my goodness, this is my jam right here. So even now, with a new album out, I still get people say, you know what, Tama is definitely, my song. So that was really, really cool.
But I also heard Dinzwalo. This is the second album.
Lord have
already heard that song.
Yes,
And it is so awesome.
Thank you so much.
Tell us about that album.
Oh man, my new album, it's literally like fresh out of the box. It's so brand new. Dinzwalo is a song that really came to me when I was literally at home washing dishes, and this melody just came. But one thing I realized about me is how I write songs is something that doesn't just come to me. I remember thinking about how good God has been to me, and I'm at home, I'm washing the dishes. It happens a lot. I sing a lot. I meditate a lot. I pray a lot. Even when I'm walking on the street, someone came when I was walking on the street. I was thinking and praying, Lord. I'm going through a difficult time now, and a song just came. So that's how Tintalo came about. I was just so grateful to God for what He had been to me, what he had done for me till that far. And the song came, everything that I am is because of God's grace. Yeah, so that's how the song Tintalo came about. And my goodness, people are really, really loving it. I'm finding it's really humbling, it's really humbling that I write songs in Tsonga and they just impacting people's lives.
Indeed.
For me, that is just a blessing. It's a major blessing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you studied music.
Yeah.
Already you had the talent of singing.
Yeah.
So now, how is it different from the actual singing and now studying it? Because I don't think it's that easy.
True,
because
true.
the talent is already
True,
there. But then,
yeah.
how did you?
Music school was hard, bro. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
It was really hard. I mean, I remember the first few months, look under the first year. The first few months, were really tough because I didn't have any background in music from high school and they wanted that. So I got friends to help me, but somehow I auditioned the first year. They said, no, you don't have a music background. They said no. And then I went and I tried to learn how to write music and how to read music. Then I auditioned the following year and then I was accepted. Oh, the first year was really hard because most of the things I was learning there, I remember at some point I felt like, I don't know if I made the right choice here. I can always try and go back to medicine, be like my older sister who's a doctor. I was struggling, I was really, really struggling. But after a while, you kind of get into the groove of things, you kind of get the hang of it, and after a while, things work out. But it's a lot of work. People think that it's so easy when you say, no, I studied music. They're like, you guys just had it easy.
Yeah.
Where it was really hectic. Assignments, you're doing performance, you must submit music. I mean, I remember at the time I had an assignment, my one song, by the way, I had to write on paper. One song was about 36 pages long, worth of music.
Wow.
And that does not take like 5 minutes to prepare. It would take days and nights. I would spend the whole night in front of a computer just working on assignments. But it was fun. It was a fun experience. And studying music really, now personally, I do feel my going to school did help my singing, first of all, because it has altered the way I sing. It has opened my mind and my musical ear to hear stuff that I would not be able to pick up with just a natural gift. So I always do say to people, if you've got the music gift and you can study music, go for it. It's gonna help you. Yeah, true. Go for it. It's definitely gonna help you. It's gonna open your mind up. It's gonna open your ear up as well to even more opportunities. I think that's how different. I guess you'll be a little different from just people who just have the gift only.
Wow.
Yeah.
So tell us about this industry, Nji. Like, how is it being in this industry?
Yeah.
Grounded, because sometimes we understand that it isn't easy. Any industry has its challenges. So what challenges have you faced throughout the time just being?
Yeah. I remember, let me take it back a bit. When I told my parents that I want to go study music, this is after I had tried medicine, after I had tried some business courses, and I told my parents, music is what I want to do, and please allow me to do this. My mom was like, yo, my child's gonna get killed by drugs. Exactly. So there's that thing where people think, being in the music industry, there's no way you won't be in drugs. You'll definitely somehow end up there. But for me, Jesus has been my drug, so I don't need I don't need the natural drugs, So being in the industry has been amazing. It has had its ups and downs. I remember when I had started 2012, 2013, it was difficult for people to give me a chance because, first of all, who is this now? They don't know who you are automatically. They easily push you aside. So those are some of the challenges that I've faced, that I've been through. I mean, I remember driving all the way to Polokwane and not even sing. So it's like we went all the way to Polokwane and back for nothing, So those are some of the things that you kind of face, especially when you are still beginning. And I always tell people, if you really want this with your whole heart, you're gonna go for it. It's gonna be difficult sometimes. You're gonna have challenges. You're gonna have people just looking at your CD. Just even before they, they take a listen. So I'd always say, just play one song. You don't have to do much. Just play one song, or you get to a place and just tell me, just give me a chance to sing, and you decide after that. So it's got its ups and downs, but things just have gotten better over the years. There's some of the things that some of the projects that I've been part of that have been the highlight of my life so far, and I look back and think, oh wow, look at what God has done in my life. So the ups and downs are there. Sometimes you do collaborations with people that you've always dreamt of, and when it finally happens, you're like, yay, is this me? So it's been exciting, but this music thing, with all the ups and downs and the challenges, I definitely would not trade it for anything else. I would not trade it for anything else. I love doing music. Besides it being a calling, I totally love what I do, and I'd wake up in the middle of the night and say, well, I'm not saying call me in the middle of but that I'm just trying to say I love being in the music industry with all the challenges, all the ups and downs. What gives me hope is that every day it gets better. With every day it gets better. With every week that passes by, things get better and better. So that really gives me a lot of hope to just stick with it.
What keeps you grounded?
Being a worship leader at my church, KCA, tell you the truth. I've got friends in the music industry who they're like, yo, dude, I don't remember the last time I went to church. For me, it doesn't matter where I'm at. I could be far. Sunday morning, I have to be in my church. Even if I didn't sleep, traveling all night or
just have to be at church.
I really have to be there. My pastor likes saying there is no champion without a coach. Mm-hmm. So he has, my pastor, Pastor Chawane, has really played a big role in my life to help me keep me grounded. When I'm in my church at KCA, I'm just a person like everyone else. There's no thing like, oh my gosh, Mabongi, can we take a picture? No, you're just a child. You are picking sound, you are picking chairs. You should see my hands, they're always dusty. And I'm happy to do that. Even if I was not singing in our worship team, I would probably join the ushers and come in the morning and clean the chairs and sweep the church, clean the toilets, anything that needs to be done. I'll definitely do it in the house of God. So being a worship leader really keeps me grounded. Having to work with people that people that I have to lead, but I'm just Mabongi to them. I'm just one of them. So that really helps me keep me grounded. My family as well. Those people don't play shama. My mom, oh my gosh, she's hardcore. So family keeps me grounded, church keeps me grounded, people around me, they keep me grounded. So that's why family is a big deal, so important to me. They're the people that really just keep me sane.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that is great. So we have a surprise for you. Just look.
Oh Lord, help me. Okay. Oh my goodness! Where did you guys find that picture though?
Looking around.
Oh my word! I was so young, but it's so beautiful. Oh my goodness!
Right. So looking at that young girl over there, what can you say to her?
Oh my gosh, Nana, your future is so bright. Your future is so bright. Just enjoy being a child for now. Don't worry about growing up yet. Enjoy being a child. Your future is so bright. God has so much great things in store for you. You're gonna turn out good. Don't worry about the dusty Tolamahash for now. That's what I'd say to the young man.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will be right back. We are still sitting and sipping tea with Miss Mabongi. So Miss Mabongi, what are the future plans?
Oh man, I've got a few things up my sleeve. To get the album out there. well, that's like, top of the list. But above me just doing music as Mabongi, my heart is into imparting my skill and what I've learned in music school, my experience in life in the music industry. So my heart is in imparting all that knowledge into especially young people. Hence, I have started an online university. It's called Levi University. Basically, Levi University talks to worship leaders, it talks to songwriters, it talks to singers, to the lighting guys, to the sound guys, like everyone who is involved in just getting the church ready for service, or in the, let me call it, the front ministry of church. So I've just started Levi University. We are launching actually in a couple of weeks. I'm really excited about that. It's something I've always wanted to do. And I do workshops. I started in my hometown. Charity begins at home,
True.
I started in my hometown in Tunamahashel last December. I did a workshop, and although everything was kind of short notice, but the turnout just blew my mind, and I thought, you know what, this year I'm definitely going bigger. It's something that I've always wanted. I do a whole lot of stuff everywhere except at home. So I started that. I'm gonna be doing it every year. For this year, it's gonna go back to Tulamash as well. But I want to go to places where nobody really wants to go, because all these things, they happen in Gauteng, for example. So I want to go down to Giyani, in a village somewhere where nobody will think about doing a worship night, and bring some of my gospel artist friends, and we go there, not just do music, but preach the gospel. That's where my heart is. I want to teach, I want to impact places where it seems to be hopeless, like a young child in a dusty village somewhere where no one even knows the name. That's where my heart is. That's what I want to do, and I thank God that I've already started doing that, and I'm looking forward to doing even bigger and greater things. So that's what I'm doing now. I teach music. I've been teaching music, but not so much, because my heart is really into what all the projects that I've been telling you about, and I'm involved with some charities here and there as well, that I'm together with my friends and stuff like that. So Mabongi is into a whole lot of stuff beyond Levi University. I want to start a school of worship, like a physical one. So it's easier to start online, but we're gonna move it to an actual school. So yeah.
So can we expect a live DVD soon?
Well, Tinzolo was actually recorded live.
Okay.
Yeah, Tinzolo was recorded live, and the DVD will be out. See, now that the CD is out, the DVD will follow in a couple of weeks as well. So the CD is out now, the DVD is coming in a couple of weeks. Be on the lookout for it. It's definitely going to be out.
So where can we find them? Like the stores and everything?
Yeah, my music is available everywhere, online. People, especially young people these days, they're into their gadgets, so it's easier to buy music online on your phone. iTunes, Google Play, Deezer, Spotify, it's available online, and it's available in all music shops. So I'm grateful that I've got distribution now, and my CD is available in shops. Some of the challenges I faced when I was starting is nobody wanted to distribute my music, because they're like, who is this? We don't know her. Nobody knows her. She's not going to sell, So I'm actually grateful those people said no, because they kind of made me go to want to prove to them,
Yeah.
You know what, you will chase after me, and at that time I'll be talk to the hand. So I'm so grateful. All the music shops, my CD is available, the old one and the new one, online it's available. It's just there everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it would be an injustice to the show.
I hope.
I knew it from Please.
Okay, so I'm just gonna like a line or two, right? Okay. Do you want me to sing specifically Tinzalo, or just any song from the album?
Any song that comes to us.
Okay, so Tinzalo is in everyone's mouths. Let's just do that. It goes, ooh, lulamile masiku ingwayo migari ingwayo Shikwembu lulamile masiku Inkwawo mikari Inkwawo Shikwembu. You have to sing this one. Ititwa Lord awena Yehovah. Your part is Ititwa.
I'm not a good singer, but thank you
thank you so much, man. This was fun. We definitely have to do tea some other time very soon, I hope.
Definitely. Wow, how awesome was that? Thank you for tuning in. Till next time. Tea with Miss T.